In the previous section we have studied about what is the role of statistics in economics. So in this if you will see that we have already studied to know the cause of any problem, that is economic problem. Economists use statistical data. That is, first of all, the data is collected. Afterwards, it is analyzed. That is, the cause of the economic problem is found out. And thirdly, from when the cause is found, which is responsible for any particular economic problem, then to mitigate that problem, to solve that problem, policies are formulated. So this is how the role of statistics is there to be played in economics. Now we'll move on to what is statistics. I'll read this from your NCERT book, and this is page number 5. So I'm reading from the left side, first paragraph. What is statistics? So actually, if we directly tell what is the meaning of statistics, then directly speaking, statistics means data, or directly saying facts in figures, economic facts that are being expressed in figures or numbers or numerals, right? This we have already seen. And this is what is the meaning of statistics. Because to solve any economic problem, then it is very important that exact value should be calculated, which is nothing but it is the exact value, means value or data in figures, numbers, right? That is the role of a statistic. That is the meaning of statistics. Statistics means data. Now, if you see here, the meaning of statistics is divided into two parts. That is, there are two senses of statistics. First, plural sense of statistics. Second, singular sense of statistics. So if we look out at the first sense of statistics, that is called as plural sense of statistics, then plural sense of statistics involves two type of data. If you see here, at this stage you are probably ready to know more about statistics. You might very well want to know what the subject statistics is all about. Statistics deals with the collection, analysis, interpretation and presentation of numerical data. It is a branch of mathematics. So directly speaking, statistics is the branch of mathematics where all mathematical calculations are done, and also used in the disciplines such as accounting, economics, management, physics, finance, psychology, sociology. Here we are concerned with data from field of economics. Most economics data are quantitative. As we were talking about plural sense of statistics, then plural sense of statistics includes quantitative data as well as qualitative data. So in plural sense of statistics, the two forms of data are included. If we say, for an example, a statement in economics like the production of rice in India has increased from 39.58 million tons in 1974 to 75 to 106.5 million tons in 2013 to 14. It is called as a quantitative data. So quantitative data is that which gives or express the value in numbers, as we have seen in our example, that the production of rice was growing from 39.58 million tons to 106.5 million tons in 2013 to 14. So this production, which is being numbered in 2 different years, is quantitative data. So whatever type of variable is there which can be given number or which can be expressed in figures, that is a quantitative data. For example, another type of variables are also there apart from production of food grains, like marks of students, that can be numbered or given expressed in figures, temperature, and rainfall. All these type of variables are there which keeps on changing and they are expressed in figures. So this is all showing us quantitative data. So this is one part of plural sense of statistics. On the other hand, in plural sense of statistics only, qualitative data is also included. This qualitative data is the data which gives us information about attribute of a person or a group of people, or directly speaking, it tells the quality of a person or the quality of group of people. That is important to record and accurately as possible, even though they cannot be measured. So these type of data are also recorded. That is called as quality. That takes into account quality. Like for example, we used to take gender-wise distribution of the population. Gender-wise means the population of males to the population of females. This is showing the quality of a particular person. That is a qualitative data. Apart from this, if we want to know about the intelligence of a particular person, then that is a quality of a person. On the other hand, we can express the qualitative data only with some degrees. What these degrees are? These degrees are to show a person is healthy or not. Then we can use the words better, worst. All these type of words are used for showing the degree of quality of a person. It involves honesty, brave, how much a person is, like this. These are all the qualities. So these are the attributes or qualities of a person or a group of people. So this data is also included in the plural sense of statistics. So these are the two senses. One plural and another one singular sense that we are going to do just now. So in the plural sense of statistics, quantitative data as well as qualitative data, both data are involved, are included. Let's move on to the singular sense of statistics. What do you mean by singular sense of statistics? As just now we have read that second paragraph, statistics deals with the collection, analysis, interpretation and presentation of numerical data. Whatever type of numerical data we are presenting, this data, or directly saying a statistical method which includes the following steps or following methods are included. That is a singular sense of statistics. Number 1, collection of data. Number 2, organization of data. Number 3, presentation of data. Number 4, analysis of data. Number 5, interpretation of data. So if I am going to say that these are the methods which are included in singular sense of statistics, so it means that these methods, through these methods we can simplify any data which is collected or recorded. So if I read it here, that in singular sense of statistics, it refers to statistical methods. These methods are regarding collection, organization, presentation, analysis and interpretation of data. In singular sense, statistical methods are also called as statistical facts. So in this sequence only of statistical singular sense of statistics, the following methods, number one which is involved is collection of data. What happens in the collection of data? Whenever any type of economic problem is existing in a particular region, then what we used to do, first of all, we have to find out that how many people are affected from that particular economic problem, maybe the problem of poverty. So we have to find out that how many people are affected from that poverty in that region. So we have to calculate first of all, or we have to collect the data first of all. So in the collection of data, if I am going to read here, in brief, if you want to explain this collection of data, it means this is the first step in statistical inquiry, so that should be collected by the investigator himself. So this collection of data is done by the investigator himself. That is, the investigator goes to that particular region, finds out how many people are affected from that economic problem. By himself, first hand data is collected by him. That is a type of primary form of data which an investigator collects from that region. This is what is called as collection of data. It is very important because from this data only the economist will be able to find out what is the cause of this economic problem in that region. Secondly, organization of data. Once the data is collected first hand by the investigator, it is in a raw form, improper data, unorganized data. So second method is, whatever data is collected which is in raw form, it should be organized. Organization of data we call it. Simply reading, if I am saying, after the collection of data, next step is to organize the data. Data that are collected by an investigator need to be organized well according to the purpose of inquiry. According to the purpose of inquiry, the data is going to be organized, or you can say classified, because in the first hand data, that is collection of data, when the investigator has collected the data, it was in a raw form, then it is being classified like in a junkyard. What we see there in the junkyard, the iron articles are at one corner, glass articles are on second compartment, third compartment plastic articles are there. Like this, classification is done, organization is done. Similarly by the investigator, according to the purpose of inquiry. Thirdly, the step involved in singular sense of statistics is presentation of data. When the data is organized, then to simplify the data, and just by looking it, we can identify what the problem is, how the problem started, from when the problem started, just by looking at it, at the data. So for that, the data is presented graphically, geometrically. Okay, so I am reading out from here. Data collected and organized are presented in some systematic manner. To make it clear for the user, tables, diagrams, graphs, all these are used to simplify the data, to present the data, and this data is presented just to make it more simplified or very easily understandable. Like this, it is done. Like for example, in cricket match, the two teams' runs per over are shown with the help of a line graph. One team's line is yellow color, other team's line is blue color. So in 10 overs, which line is below and which line is above? From that line only we can know that what was the performance of both the teams in 10 overs, how many runs they have scored. So this is how the data is more simplified. Just by looking at it, it is understandable. After that comes analysis of data. In analysis of data, various methods are used to analyze the data, such as averages. There are several different methods to analyze the data. Like for example, it is very difficult to remember the incomes of all the people in the country, where there is a large population, in crores people are there. You may not be able to remember the income of each and every individual who are in large number. So to simplify it or to analyze it, we used to summarize it. How the summarize can this large data can be summarized by taking out average income. We will find out what is the total income of all these, say 100 crore people, divided by the total population by 100 crore. We will get per person's income, that is per capita income, which is called as average income. This analysis is going to summarize it, right? And we will be able to very easily know that in which condition the people are in a country. Are they high income earners? Are they low income earners? Like this we can find out. Even the World Bank also categorized the different countries on the basis of per capita income. That is, they use this statistical method, average income, per person's income, per capita income. With this, some other methods are also involved in this analysis of data, like mean, median, mode. These are all the different averages, dispersion, correlation, all these. Apart from this, if we move on to the another fifth step or method of singular sense of statistics, it is called as interpretation of data. Interpretation of data here implies drawing of conclusions on the basis of analysis of the data. Once the analysis is done, that is per person's income we calculated how much it is, then we reach to some result, then we reach to some conclusion that India is going to be coming in the low income countries, high income countries, or middle income countries. We reach to some conclusion, and then we can make some policies. Then the policies are formulated so as to solve this problem if India is in low income countries, and it is. India is in a low income country. So this is why it is very important that we have to analyze the data, and then in the last step we interpret. That means we find out the conclusion to frame some policies to solve this problem. So this is what is known to be as singular sense of statistics. So we have studied plural sense of statistics also, and we have studied singular sense of statistics also, right? And after that only, if we move on to another question, what statistics does? So what statistics does? We have already understood here that statistics is an indispensable tool for an economist. For any economist, statistical is a very indispensable tool, where this without statistics, an economist cannot find out the solution to any economic problem. And as we know, statistics is the data or economic facts and figures. Very important for economists. for the solution to an economic problem. So in this sequence only we have already studied that to solve or to find out the cause of any economic problem, as I told you before also, economic problem means the problem of choice, where due to scarcity of resources and unlimited wants, people or individuals in the society have to make choice. And this is the problem of choice, or we can say economic problem. So to find out the solution, to find out the cause of the economic problem, we make use of the plural sense of statistics, that is quantitative or qualitative data we used to collect. After collecting this data and finding out the cause of any economic problem, to mitigate this problem or to find out the solution to this problem, once the cause is found out, then the policies are formulated, that is, policies are framed. Directly speaking, if we move on to page number 6, where you can see that when economic facts are expressed in statistical terms, they become exact. Exact facts are more convincing than vague statements. Let's see what this statement is telling us. Exact facts are more convincing than vague statements. What is the difference between exact fact and vague statements here? We are going to take one example. 310 people died in the recent earthquake in Kashmir. 310 exact value we are getting here. So this means this is the statistical data which is expressing the economic facts into correct figures, जो हमें correct figures बता रहा है. 310 people died in an earthquake in Kashmir. Whereas, instead of speaking like hundreds of people died in Kashmir, this is a vague statement. An economist will not be able to find out the solution to this problem because exact fact is not available in numbers. Now it's so much important, therefore we say that statistics is an indispensable tool for economists. So let's find out what are the very important functions of statistics. So let's move on to the first function of statistics. Number 1. Statistics helps in understanding economic problems. Through statistics, we can understand economic problems where we use quantitative facts to find the cause of any economic problem. This is the most important function of statistics. Secondly, what is the another function of statistics? Presentation of facts in definite form. With the help of statistics, the economic facts are expressed in exact figures. Like we have studied just now, 310 people died in Kashmir in an earthquake. This is the exact fact. So statistics helps us to find out the exact figures or presentation of facts into definite form. Thirdly, third function, statistics helps in condensing mass data into few numerical measures. Statistics helps to condense the mass data. If a very large data is there with us, like for example, I have given an example that a country which is having a large population it cannot be remembered that what is the income of every person of such a large population. It is impossible to remember. So statistics helps to summarize this data, large data, mass of data. By doing what? By its methods, statistical methods like that of average. We can find out average income, per person's income. That is the mass data converted into summarized data. So already I have told you how to find out the average income by total income divided by population by this method. Fourth is the function establishes the relationship between factors. Statistics establishes relationships between factors. Like for example, if the price changes, then demand will also change. According to the law of demand, if the price increase, demand decrease. Price decrease, demand increase. There is a negative relationship. So this is a relationship which through statistical data or method only we can find out. What is the effect on the another variable? When the price changes, demand is going to also change. Similarly, here in the law of demand we have seen there is a negative relationship, but in the another case we can see there is a positive relation also. When the price is increasing, supply is also increasing. Because when the price increase, producer is getting more benefit or profit. Because of this, what happens? The producer gets more profit. Therefore, he will increase the supply when price is increasing. Therefore, when price increase, supply also increase. And when price decrease, supply also decrease. On the other hand, there is also a relationship between expenditure by the government or maybe investment by the government will cause what cause will be there on the income of the people. What will be the effect on the income of the people if the government is going to invest more today? Today, if the government is going to invest more and more on public welfare facilities like that of roads, overbridge like this, then it will lead to increase in the national income in future, because that amount of money is going to be distributed among the people only, which will be used to construct a bridge or maybe roads. Similarly, there is also another function of statistics, that is number fifth important function of statistics. Helps in formulation of plans and policies. Through statistical data, the economic planner can predict what policy can be framed in future through statistical method, statistical data. The different estimations, or directly speaking, with estimation some predictions are also done with that data, statistical data. Like for example, if the production in the food grain in 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, in all these different years, if the economic planner is going to get this data, he will be able to find out that in 2020, after 3 years, what could be the production of the food grain, what change will be there, how much will be the production in 2020. He can predict with the help of this statistical tool or data. And on the basis of this only, the impact is the policies can be made. Say for example, if the production is going down, then policies are framed. How to increase the production of food grain, because in coming 3 years the population will also be high as it is increasing now in India. All these things are summed up together and predictions are made. Then another function is here, intersectoral and intertemporal comparisons. Through statistical data, intersectoral comparisons can be done, which means it refers to intersectoral means there are various different sectors in the economy, and in all these different sectors, like for example, we want to analyze the problem of unemployment. Then with the help of statistics, we will be able to tell the magnitude of unemployment across rural and urban areas. In the rural area, in the urban areas, what is the condition of unemployment? What is the unemployment condition? This could be done. So with the statistics, we can compare the intersectoral problems. With this, there is also intertemporal comparisons. Intertemporal comparisons is directly related to the problem over time. Temporal means time. Like, what was the comparison of unemployment situation in different time periods in rural area and urban area? That is intersectoral comparison. That is intertemporal comparison on the basis of time period. Years. How much unemployment was spread in the urban area and in the rural area. So these are different various, you can say these were the various important functions of statistics. But on the other hand, we can also say that there are some negative effects of statistics. What are these negative effects actually? Most of the time, statistical methods are no substitutes to common sense. Statistical methods are used by very, very expert people, economists. If any inexpert person is going to use this